Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and my channel offers videos that range from political predictions to spirit, metaphysical, ghost, those types of things, mediumship, psychic readings. But today I want to talk to you about 3 events that happened in my life recently in which spirit really inserted themselves, or I should say asserted themselves, right? Asserted themselves and inserted themselves into my life. And I do these videos so that you can see yourself how spirit is interacting with you in your daily lives to send you messages and guidance. And hopefully by watching this video, you're going to see how maybe in the past, spirit has worked with you and guided you because you'll be able to recognize it better. And certainly in the future, you're going to be able to catch spirit in the act. You're going to be able to catch your guardian angels, your spirit guides in the act when they're actually helping you, because they really are. Now, I often say they like to work under the radar because, frankly, I can talk to my spirit guides. I can talk to them just like I'm talking to you. And what that means for them is it's much harder to get me to do things because I'm a human and I want to know why. I don't always understand their guidance, right? Because I have even as a psychic, I can only see so far. I can only see so much. They have this amazing view of our lives, of our entire lives, of our soul contracts, of our soul mission, of all the people that are coming into our lives and leaving our lives in various ways to help us accomplish those things. We just can't see it. Even psychics, we just can't see that much, right? So when they interact with me and I know that they're interacting with them, I have free will, the famous free will. I can say, no, I'm not doing that. And this is what happened. I want to tell you about 2 things that happened to me where spirit tried to guide me, and they did protect me, which was good, but I didn't follow their guidance. And I guess had that been a lesson for me to learn, I would have learned that lesson. And then the third thing I want to tell you is a mysterious thing that happened to me in my house yesterday. So you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video to see, because it's really mysterious. To be honest with you, it's the first time anything like this has really ever happened to me in this way. So, number 1, I want to tell you about the guidance that Spirit gave me about walking my dog. So I walk my dog in my neighborhood. She just likes to walk. I need to exercise. That's another guidance from Spirit, right? So we walk on a leash, and they started telling me about, now when I say telling me, they communicate to you in many different ways. You may be shopping online and see an item and think, I need to buy that, right? But then your brain kicks in and why do I need to buy that? I don't need to buy that. And, your ego brain kicks in and you're like, no, I don't need to buy that. So you don't pay attention. Later on, you really might have needed that item. And you might think to yourself, gosh, I knew I needed that item. That was spirit, you guys. That was spirit gently guiding you. So in this case, what happened was spirit showed me, first of all, I moved recently and everything is everywhere. I can't find anything. And they kind of popped a thought into my mind that said pepper spray. I'm like, okay, I don't know where the pepper spray is. I mean, I literally just can't even guess. I couldn't guess. I thought about ordering more pepper spray, but does that make sense? I already have pepper spray. I should just find the pepper spray I have, right? I'm a practical person. So I didn't do it. A week goes by. Next thing that happens is I see on my local neighborhood, you know how they have those neighborhood apps, I see where a dog got out of a yard, and it was like a sheepdog or something. It was not a vicious dog by breed. And this sheepdog, and sorry, Sherry, if you're watching, this is not to malign all sheepdogs, but this sheepdog got out and was really rambunctious and running and jumping. I think it was a younger dog, and it ran up to somebody and knocked them down. Now, it didn't bite them, but it did knocked him down, and there was a big discussion on Neighborhood app about the dog attacked this person. And there was a big discussion about what does attack mean, right? I mean, the dog knocked her down. True. She could have gotten hurt. True. The dog wasn't malicious, honestly. But anyway, so that happened. And so why did those things happen? You have pepper spray the next day. The next week you have this dog gets loose and attacks somebody. Both of those things came into my consciousness out of the hundreds of things that I could have paid attention to that day. That popped into my consciousness. Okay, so that's two things. Now, I know well enough to know that when things come in patterns, I need to pay attention. I knew, my little spidey senses said, Susan, you need to pay attention to that. That's the second thing that's come up with a dog. You know, I talk about pepper spray, and now they're talking about, and I bought the pepper spray for dogs. I didn't buy it for bears or humans. I bought it because I want my dog, and sometimes, you know, you get into a situation potentially. So third thing that happened was I was walking my dog, and I saw a stick, a really big stick. Like it was this big around. I'm going to show a picture of it because what happens is spirit will guide your eyes. You will find yourself staring at something. Maybe it's an umbrella before you're going out of your house. Maybe it's your lunch bag you're staring at. And then you kind of snap out of it and go, right? Because you still have to go eat breakfast or you still have to go get somebody ready for school. And then you leave without your lunch bag. But that's why they literally direct your gaze. And you will find yourself staring at items for just a few moments longer than normal. If you can train yourself to catch that, if you can train yourself to catch patterns, the things that pop into your consciousness, if you can train yourself to catch when your eyes are focused on something and you realize, wait, why am I staring at that? Okay, there's a reason you're staring at that. So what happened was I saw the stick. I'm staring at it. Now, at this point, I have my dog and my ex's dog, which is like my part-time dog. And one's little and one's big. And I just think, I can't handle these two dogs and this stick. But I knew what they were telling me at this point. I knew I needed to pick up that stick and carry it with me. I knew it. But I have free will. And I consciously said, nope, I'm not going to take that stick. Off I go on my walk. Now, where I live in a 1940s bungalow or cottage, and where I live, there's a lot of older houses, and it's a mixed up neighborhood. You know, it's not, there's expensive houses 5 blocks away. There's, you know, it's a mixed up neighborhood. And often I had gotten in the habit of walking in the alleys because there's no sidewalks. And so the alleyways are, and they're interesting to the dogs, right? There's stuff to sniff back there. So I got in the habit of walking the alleyways. So here I'm walking, I'm 1 block away from my house. I walk down this alley sometimes twice a day, sometimes once a day, sometimes every other day, but very often. And you better believe that I know every dog in every neighborhood, right? Because they bark at us. And there's some alleys we don't go down because we don't like that dog is a little bit too aggressive at the fence, right? I'm walking down this alley and I felt a really big angel. I mean, like, boom, this angel steps behind me. And and you know, if you don't know me, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I got like an 8-foot tall, you know, it looked like Mr. Clean, you know, bald-headed, muscular angel walking behind me. Now, did I think, hey, Susan, this is probably for your protection, baby. Maybe you should be careful. No, I didn't think that. I did not think that. I kept on walking. Do. Well, something tells me to turn around. I look over my shoulder to see, and this is not maligning this breed either because I actually foster this breed and I know that all dogs can be aggressive, okay? But there is a pit bull and it is running at us like a locomotive. And it's very muscular, let's just put it that way. At this point, we all three, me and the 2 dogs, turn around to face this pit bull. And I'm pretty good with dogs. I'm a serious dog lover, had dogs my whole life. So the first thing I know to do is not to run. You know, you actually need to be the boss here. So I scream, no. Well, that slowed it down. And that it really slowed almost to a stop. And then it started going again. And I would say at one point it started about 25 yards from me. It stopped maybe 15 yards from me. And then it started coming at me again. And I screamed no again. And this time when I screamed no, I jumped in the air. And when I jumped in the air, I hit the ground. In my perception, I hit the ground so hard that it shook. I felt like the ground shook under my feet. That dog skidded to a stop with its paws out, looked at me, and turned around and ran away. Now, that wasn't me that did that. That was Mr. Clean, the angel behind me. The 7-8 foot tall muscular angel must have picked me up and went boom. So, now I often think, like, if I had had that stick, I don't know, maybe that would have stopped the dog. I don't know. But I was very close to being in a real hazardous situation. That dog would have attacked my dogs. I would have gotten bit because I would have attacked it. So I was really adrenaline pumping. So when the guy shows up, he was visiting that house. That dog knew how to pop the gate. It was an old metal fence with the latch gate. The dog knew to pop the gate with its nose. And I screamed at that guy all the way back to my house. I was so wrecked with adrenaline. But that's a situation where I should have listened. I should have gotten the stick, but they came in to protect me anyway. Now, I didn't learn my lesson, did I? Because I didn't get the stick. The stick was the lesson. Pay attention to us. We're trying to help you. Pick up the stick. Okay, fast forward let's make it 2 weeks later. I started carrying the pepper spray. I found it. I found that stuff. I ripped this place apart. I found it. It's a gel, whatever. I put it with the dog leash, but I didn't have a way to constantly carry it. Like, it didn't clip on the leash. It was supposed to go through a belt, and I put it in my pocket, and sometimes I didn't have a pocket. So I was kind of carrying it like every other time, even though they kept showing it to me. 2 weeks later, I'm walking a different route on the wealthier side of the neighborhood because I'm like, we're off of alleys now. I don't even want to walk down an alley. I'm walking in the ritzy side thinking I'm going to be safer here. Well, here comes a yellow lab. These people had taken their big wooden privacy fence down and were replacing it. And instead of putting their dogs inside the house, they just let their dogs run loose. And this big lab is running right at us, and I'm screaming at it, and it does not care. I don't have Mr. Clean with me. I don't have the pepper spray. I looked at it. I swear to God, I stared at it. They made me stare at it, and I didn't take it because I got distracted by the dog, by whatever I was doing, and I didn't take it. And this dog came right up to my Zoe. And usually Zoe's the kind of dog who loves everybody, loves dogs. But if you give her some grief, she's going to give it back to you. She's not just going to take your, she's going to stand up for herself. And this dog came right up to Zoe and was barking and biting at her snout. And I saw her clamp her mouth shut with intention to not, she basically froze. She's a big dog. She was a little bit bigger than this lab. But, and I screamed at the dog, and finally the people, called the dog. They had been calling the dog. Dog wasn't listening. The dog was not under any voice control. And the dog finally left. But that's 2 times when Spirit communicated to me and said, listen, you're going to need this. You need to pay attention to us. We're trying to get this message through to you. And 2 times, my human free choice, free will, deleted that. So pay attention, guys. Catch it. Be in the zone that you can catch it. And when you catch it, Just do it, even if you feel silly, even if you get the impression to bring a coat, yet it's 70 degrees outside. You know, maybe there's a cold front coming in that you don't know about. You never know what's going to happen, right? And sometimes, maybe 1 out of 10 times, you never really understand why you were supposed to do something, you know? But maybe somebody else's free will changed that situation so you didn't experience it. But it's always better. Take it from me. It's always better to listen to them. The third thing I want to tell you is this really mysterious thing happened to me. I had, and I don't know where the other one is, I had 2 Q-tips on my laptop to clean the keyboard. And I didn't do it. This happened yesterday morning. And I left them there overnight thinking, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, right? I'll turn the laptop off and clean it tomorrow. Yesterday morning, come in here and I'm sitting at my laptop and this is what I find. 2 Q-tips completely twisted, braided together. I did not do this. I did not do this. It took me, now I'm a psychic and a medium, and I talk to people. I give readings where I bring people's loved ones in and I tell people your husband did this with the lights and your son did this with the water, whatever it is, right? I mean, these things really happen. They can come in and they can affect physical things. So they can move things. They can, turn on the lights, turn off the lights. Usually it's electricity though, because electricity is energy. It's very easy for them to manipulate. They also can manipulate water. Again, electricity flows through water. It's a good conductor. But for them to do something like this, takes a lot of energy. A lot of energy. The last time something like this happened to me was when my best friend crossed over and she left me some things in my garage. She was a big proponent of safety glasses, and I never wore safety glasses because I wear glasses. And she was always getting on to me, and we did projects together. We would often do all kinds of handy girl projects together. Well, she left safety glasses hanging in my garage where they were not. I don't use safety glasses. I didn't even know I owned safety glasses. Here are these safety glasses. That was her way of saying, hey, kind of a funny way. Hey, I love you. Wear your safety glasses, right? I'm not going to be here anymore to tell you to wear them. So I'm going to just hang these up here as a kind of a joke, but also a way that I know that she knew that I would know that she was here. So this freaked me out. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This freaked me out because even though I do this kind of work, it's unusual. I mean, this is braided, twisted, braided, and look at the way this is bent right here. And if you hold it like this, what does that look like to you guys? So I had a client yesterday, not going to mention her name, but she's psychic. And I asked her about this. And the first thing she said, which was what you need to do when something like this happens, is what's the energy? What does this energy feel like? Is it good or bad? Right? I mean, I don't think bad ghosts are going to come in here and braid the Q-tips, but maybe. But, so the energy feels good to me. The energy feels really good with this. So I know it was something good. Now, I asked my dad. If you guys know me, you know my dad is a jokester. And this young lady, this woman that I had a reading with yesterday, who's a psychic, she said, your dad says that he has no clue. And I agree. My dad has no clue who this is. So it wasn't my dad. I don't think my dad, no disrespect dad, but I don't think my dad has this kind of energy on earth. He just doesn't, for whatever reason. I think some of the spirits that cross over, like your uncle or your husband or whatever, if they really want to get involved in your life and send you messages, physical messages, They make it, that's their intention. They work at it. They work at it. They get skills. They get energy. Sometimes they team up with a brother or a brother-in-law or somebody else, and then that's more energy, right? So you really have to have the intention to work with physical things. The only other time I saw something like this was the very first ghost reading that I gave. The ghost in the house used to braid the mini blinds, the cords. He would braid them in sailor's knots. No kidding. So this is an interesting thing. So when you hold it like this, it looks like two people twined together to me. And I talked to Jen of Jen's World Tarot. You guys know her. If you don't, check out her channel, Jen's World Tarot. She pointed out that this sort of looks like a foot. It looks like two people together with a foot. And you know what I think this is from? Or who did this? I think the person who did this, if you guys watch the video, maybe I'll put it up here on the screen. When I was on vacation in New Mexico, and I crossed over the woman and the 3-year-old little boy. The 3-year-old little boy was a ghost. He was living on the property. He didn't want to go with his grandmother because he didn't like her. She came to get him. He didn't want to go with her. He didn't like her. She wasn't, she wasn't the best thing for him. So he just stayed there. And he presented himself to me on the second time. He wrapped his arms around my leg the way little kids do. They hug your leg and they stand on your foot, right? And you walk with them. And that's what he was doing. He was hugging my leg. And I brought his mother in, who he really wanted to be with. But she wasn't coming in because the grandmother was there and they were not copacetic. So I pushed the grandmother back. I brought the mom in. And I had to walk with him on my leg to her. He wouldn't even look away. He was hugging my leg, looking at me the whole time. And when I finally got close enough to her, she called him a nickname, which I didn't know what it was. And I've since learned in the comments means little boy, I think, or my little boy or something. I think it's Spanish. But anyway, he ran into her arms and they left and lived happily ever after. And it'll make you choke up. I think she came. I think Spirit came to say thank you. I think that woman came to say thank you and left this. Either she did it or her ancestors did it or the ghost walker medicine man that I met in the first video when I crossed over the family in New Mexico. Either he did it because he has a lot of power. I can't see that lady, that woman, that young woman doing this. This is a lot of power. So I think this was the ghost walker medicine man coming to say, getting chills. So that's a yes. Coming to say thank you. Right? And isn't this weaving of the two worlds, right? Isn't this what I do, sort of? Weaving the two worlds, the world on the other side of the veil and the world here that I live in, weaving them together. I really think that's what this is. So hey, if you guys have any thoughts about this, let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. There's a lot of psychic mediums out there that watch the channel, whether you're new, beginning, or whether you're practicing. Look, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think this is. Let me know if you think we're right, if we're on the right track here. And listen, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I am doing some new things. Jen's World Tarot and I are going to New Orleans. We're having an event where we go to New Orleans. You can find the information at www.jensworldtarot.com. And it is in December, the 10th, 11th, 12th, roughly. We are in New Orleans. We're doing an event there. And then secondly, I want to announce that I'm starting a membership channel here on YouTube. Now, I do have a Patreon channel, a Patreon membership. And And I just have to tell you that you're still going to get these videos. You're still going to get videos on YouTube. I'm still going to offer so much free content. But Spirit really wants me to do this. I've been resisting it for 6 months. You know, look, you've watched this whole video. You see where my free will gets me in trouble. So I'm going to start a membership channel. Keep your eyes peeled for that. There's some things that I just would rather not share with the whole world, right? I'd rather share with a smaller group of people. Some of this stuff that I do gets really delicate, gets private for me. And then plus, you know, it would help me. Your membership helps me. It supports me and my channel and the work that I do here. So I appreciate that as well. You know, join if you want to. Don't join if you don't want to. You're still going to get great content no matter what. But you know what? The one thing I want you to know is I really, really appreciate you watching. I love you guys so much. You guys have my heart. Thank you so very much for your support. Everybody take care, be well, be safe. And you know what? Listen to your guides. Don't do what I do. Y'all take care.